Okay, so it's not really warmed up, but it's hard to get out of here. Between me and my neighbor, we have so many cars. He's got 4 or 5. I've got 5. I got 4 here. 1, 2, 3. I got 4 here, but I have 5. One I just basically gave to my daughter because I have no place to park it. So, plus, she wanted one. She wanted it's like an SUV. Ford Edge, they call it. It's a real nice vehicle. I got it up in Lodi. She was like, "Oh, I'm looking for one too, but I want a Honda. I don't want no Ford." And I said, "Well, it's pretty nice." She goes, "Yeah, I don't want a Ford." And then her car had to go in the shop, and I brought it over and let her borrow the Ford, the Edge. And she saw it, and she was like, "Oh my God, this thing's really nice." And then she drove it, and I never got it back. I never got it back. She fell in love with it. I don't have the heart to ask for it back. Yeah. I bought everybody else cars. What the hell? I don't care about cars. I'm not a big thing when it comes to cars. I really could care less. I just need trucks that run because trucks make me money. I mean, I like this Cadillac, but this is actually my son's. And this is not the most reliable car. It's running good now because I put a lot of money into it. But it's a 2003, I think it is. DeVille. Very luxurious. It has an irritating rattle that I have to fix under the dash. I think I'm going to put some spray foam in there and let that expand because I think it's a loose bracket. And I tried to get to it, and I can't take the dash apart. It's too much work, and I couldn't get in there. I fiddled with it and tried to stuff stuff in there like cardboard and whatnot, and I can't. Whatever it's causing the rattle, and like I said, I think it's a bracket, like a plastic bracket. I can't get to it. But when I press and hold the dash, it goes away. So I know it. I know that's what it is. Something like that. So I think if I spray some foam in there, there's like a little gap you can kind of get a little straw in there to spray foam, and then the foam would go in there and it'll expand, and I'll just kind of clamp it and hold it so it won't lift it, and then let the foam expand kind of sideways, and it should just kind of cover the stuff in there. I'm not going to spray a bunch of it, but get to the bracket and then kind of lock the bracket in when the foam dries. That expanding foam. So I think that's how I'm going to deal with that. So I brought one of the motorcycles over, a gas motorcycle 125, to one of my workers and our employees, and I think he's gonna buy it. He's gonna ride it around and check it out. I had to put a carburetor on it, even though it was practically brand new. It came with a cheap carburetor because it's a Chinese off-road bike, like a motocross bike. And I had 2 of them. One was a 60 cc and the other one was a 125, and they both 2 of my employees have them. One got it for his kid. There's a smaller one, and then the larger one I brought over yesterday. I mean, it's just sitting in my garage. I don't really want it. My grandsons don't want it. That's what I bought it for. And so it's just in the way, man. Everything's in the way at my place. So, yeah. So the Crow Dough. They've got a number of donuts that are their donuts are real expensive. They're way overpriced. And they are. And another thing I don't like about when you go to stores now, this has been going on for a while. When you use a card, you pay with a card because, almost everybody does. It automatically brings up the tip, and it recommends like 18%. Which really what it's telling me is they're not paying the people enough to work there. They're charging a fortune for the donuts. The donuts are like $6.50 or something crazy. Don't mind that, $7 for one donut. And then And I know it's not going to be a high-paying job, working retail behind the counter. But, you know, they arbitrarily just like, it just says like defaults to 18%, then it goes to like 20 or 22, and then it goes, I don't know, 25, 27. Like over 25% tip. I mean, come on, man. I mean, how bold you got it? First of all, I don't like when it pops up automatically and it defaults to the tip. And so you have to actually go in the menu and press the button, you know, to negate it. So if you don't want to leave a tip, or you hit custom and put a custom tip in. And you got to do that while the person at the counter who's getting the tip is standing right there. It's just, you know, and it's designed to be that way, so you feel guilty, like, you know. But I just don't like, you know, them assuming, oh yeah, you're just gonna leave a tip. And if you're not, you're gonna have to go through the embarrassment of, you know, hitting a couple of buttons here, or not buttons, but you know what I mean, screen touching thing, to negate that. I always hit the custom and lower it down. I do usually 15%, sometimes 10, but usually 15%. And even then, I'm like, you know, sometimes I'm like, you know, I'm buying a coffee, or I'm buying one donut or something, let's say. I mean, or say I go buy 3 donuts and they're $7 a piece or something, it's $21. They want me to leave a 18% tip on that? It's like, really? I got to leave, like, what is that? How much is that? I don't know. That would be like $5? Yeah, that would be almost $5. They want me to leave a $5 tip on a $21 transaction that took a total of 20 seconds? I mean, give me a break. You know, if everybody does that and buys 2 or 3 donuts at a place like that, and the person behind the counter is getting $3 to $5 per person, let's say, they'd be making some damn good money. They could be making it, when it's busy, they could be making $40, $50 an hour. I mean, you know, and the customers are paying it. And the person that owns the store is paying them probably minimum wage. You know, they just keep bleeding us dry everywhere. Where's this place at? You know? It's Sunday morning, everybody's in church or at home. And so it's not very crowded. But this place does get crowded after a while, but it's still a little bit early. Oh, they're open, yeah. Sunday, God, better be open on Sunday, right? Turn around here. If a cop was here, if a cop saw me right now, I'd get a ticket. Just for what this little turnaround I just did, I'd get a ticket for that. Look at the way people park. I can't. No, I gotta park all the way down here. Uh-oh, this lady's coming in with her kids, and she looks like she's gonna take forever. I know she's going to the donut store. She looks like a donut person. I gotta get ahead of her. Okay, I'll be back. I gotta run. Okay, I'm back. That didn't take very long. There was nobody hardly. Well, there were people in there, but nobody in line. I beat that lady. She would have taken forever with those 2 kids. You could just tell. They'd be in there asking a million questions. They had a lot to choose from this morning as far as donuts go. They also have pretty good coffee, but I didn't get one. I had 2 espressos this morning already. So I got a couple of things that are different. I got a Crodo for me. I got a Crodo for my son. And then they also have a chocolate covered Crodo. I didn't get that. And then I paid cash, so I could control the tip better. I gave $1.50 in tip because my change, I think, was 2 quarters or something like that, and then a dollar bill. It still came up on the menu, even though I paid cash. It still came up for me to put a tip in. and whether or not I wanted a receipt. So I'll show you the donuts when I get home. So that's going to be a lot of sugar. I haven't been eating very much sugar at all. Hardly any. I'm not down to 0. I have a little bit of candy here and there, and a couple, like, occasionally some gum. And, just a little bit of candy, not much. Actually, I've been doing pretty good. And then some dried fruit, for snacking. But usually, before I work out, like if I'm going to eat the sweets at all, it's usually, I try to time it to where I'm going to, in the next hour or two, I'm going to work out. And then I know I can burn that out real quick. There's nothing worse than if you just eat sugary foods and you don't work out. Sugary foods are really not good for you, or high carbs and stuff like that. But especially if you don't work out, if you don't burn it off, and work out or work or do something physical, like a vigorous physical activity. If you don't do that and you just sit and eat sweet foods or sugary foods or foods that are high in carbohydrates, it's really unhealthy for you. And that's what leads to a lot of problems, I think, that people have. Is with those dietary choices that they make. And my diet's pretty clean now. I mean, the donuts is going to be a cheat day for me, but because the last time I had donuts, I can't remember. I mean, it's been so long. I bought them, but for my guys at work, but I haven't been eating them. It's been quite a while. But what was I gonna say? Forgot my train of thought. Something about eating sugary foods and stuff like that. It's not good for you. About my diet. My diet's pretty clean. They're building another storage facility there. My diet's pretty clean in the sense that I'm not eating a large variety of different foods. It's fairly simple. Fairly high in protein, medium in fats, and relatively low carbohydrates. And vegetables are carbohydrates, but I consider them pretty healthy carbohydrates. And I have some vegetables, usually combined with a protein. But I'm really limited, almost no snacking. I mean, a banana occasionally, but like I said, I'll eat a banana if I feel like if I'm going to go do something, I'll eat a banana. I just won't eat one and then go sit down and do nothing. It serves no purpose. I mean, if I'm hungry, I won't, and I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to be sitting around. I generally won't grab a banana. I don't think that's a good snack if you're hungry. I'll have something that, will take away the hunger cravings, but, it's going to be good for me. Like some olives, some canned olives or jarred olives, sliced cucumber, some sliced celery with some salt, maybe 1 can of smoked oysters and a few saltines or something like that, and maybe a green onion, and I'll make that plate up. It's very satisfying, and it's good for me. The saltines aren't really, but whenever I have smoked oysters or sardines, I always like to have a couple saltines with it. It just kind of offsets it and goes well with it, with the savoriness, saltiness. And then sometimes cheese with that, but I'm limiting how much cheese. I still buy cheese, but I'm really not eating very much. I don't know where it's going. I guess my son's eating most of it. Um, I'm trying to limit keep the cheese consumption low. I should be eating more cheese before I work out. It's a good source of protein. I have some good cheeses at home. Maybe I should eat a little bit more. Figure out ways to incorporate it. But when I make that plate of sardines and all with the veggies and stuff, and when I add cheese to it, it seems like it just puts it over the top. It's like it's too much. It doesn't seem beneficial. Although I like it, it just doesn't seem like I need it on the plate. And I'm starting. I got to start really dialing in my diet more as far as more strict controls over it, because I'm entering the phase of my my fitness journey that I'm on now. I'm approaching 2 months since I started, and I'm entering the phase. Here's my neighbor. I'm entering the phase where I have to start controlling my diet more to drop weight. And in order to drop weight, I have to be calorie deficient on a daily basis, or have a calorie deficit on a daily basis. So, that takes a lot of discipline, and I got to start aiming towards that as I move forward in the next 2-3 months, if I want to achieve my goals. And I do want to achieve my goals. Otherwise, what's the point? You don't have goals. You don't have nothing to achieve. Okay. So, here's the donuts. And I'll show it to you here. And let me get a plate. So here's the infamous cronut. And this is a maple. This is a salted caramel chocolate coated. She taught me how to she should get the cake one rather than the other one the other one looked better, but the other one would kind of look more like this. But the girl talked me out of it. So I'm going to do half of that, put this away. Okay, so off in the distance you can hear the espresso machine going and making another espresso. I'll do my third one. Espresso is almost done. You can hear it going. I'm gonna do some cardio today, which is why I'm getting away with eating this. Here's my espresso right here. We'll start with the crow dough. We'll go with that and see how that is. Yeah. Texture filling. Coming out. I wonder if that's how they put it in. You see how it's layered? Like a croissant. I haven't had something like that in a long time. Oh. That's good. I hope I got enough light. All right. Last bite. That's good. Now, the maple bacon, or maple, I'm sorry, not maple bacon. I wish it was maple bacon. Good. It's like, almost like a cake donut. I wonder if it is. It's kind of like a cake donut. I should have made some bacon. And put bacon on it. I picked up some sliced pork belly yesterday. It's sliced like a thick piece of bacon. And that's what this needs. Salty bacon. Good. I have a little bit more of that. This is about 350 calories. Good breakfast. Pretty good. Now, this one, I forget what this one is. Let's just taste it. That almost tastes like maple as well. That's really good. I forget what that is. I feel the sugar already. I already feel it. It's starting to hit me. I feel it in my head. sugar overload. That tastes like a maple, but I think that is a maple. Maybe this. No, this is a maple too. Maybe they were both maples. All right, this is a salted caramel. Dipped in chocolate. Mmm. You know, I'm not a huge fan of chocolate donuts. The chocolate is overwhelming. It's overpowering. That donut would be better if it didn't, from my standpoint, if it didn't have chocolate on it. I hate to wuss out, but that cronut was quite a bit of sugar in itself. It was very rich. And then the two different maples. I think I'm going to tap out. I thought I could eat these. This is what's left. Plus the other halves, couple halves over there, and the other crow dough or cronut. My stomach's already starting to churn from the dough. And I feel the sugar really rushing through me. Yeah. Like I said, when you're eating clean, you notice stuff like this make right away. And it's the first thing I had to eat. I had a hard-boiled egg this morning. Just to offset some of that coffee, that espresso that was in my gut. Well, that was a good treat. That's a lot of energy that I put into myself. I'm gonna let it sit for 45 minutes. It's 9:20 now. I'll jump on the bike at 10. I got a video I gotta work on and finish editing, or edit actually, from yesterday. And then this one, I'll do this one as well, put it on YouTube. That's all I can handle. I thought I could do more. I can't. But that's enough. That's a lot of calories. I'm just guessing. I'm guessing I just ate 900 calories. 900 to 1100 in there. I bet you I just ate. Maybe as much as 1200. Which is over a third of the calories that I'm going to consume today. I'm only going to consume about, well, it's almost half. Excuse me, I'm only going to consume about 2,600 calories today. That's the plan. And I didn't track these, but I could look it up and get a closer estimate. But it's probably in the neighborhood of 1,200 calories. I'll burn 2/3 of it off on the bike today, though. Yeah. Okay, well, that's going to be it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.